Hello and welcome to our next segment reading of the Asatru Edda. I am Asgard Skeg, and in today's chapter 29 is entitled Konr. And Konr is the son of Skjoldr Jarl. And as you can see, this text doesn't just chronicle the accounts of the gods and the deities. It's also accounting the beginning days and the earlier times of mankind. And as you'll see as we progress through the story, actually, you're going to see a lot more of these accounts and tales and stories, which we would refer to as sagas, of mortal men and women of such renown that their fame deserves them a place right next to the gods. So, today's chapter, Konr. It was time's morning. Eagles screeched. Holy waters fell from heavenly mountains. Then the mighty Konr was born by Borkildr Drott in Bralander. It was night, Nornr came, they who did shape the orlog of the noblemen. They proclaimed him best among the Budlungar, foremost among the Skjoldungar, and famed among princes. With might they twisted the Orlog Thratir, so they will settle Boers in Bralander. They arranged the golden thread, and fastened it directly beneath the moon's hall. In the east and west they hid the ends. The Jarl would rule between there. Neri Mimir's kinswoman set one thread northward and bade it hold forever. There was one cause of alarm to the Ylfingr Jarl, and also for her who bore the loved one. A hungry raven cawed to another raven in a high tree. Hear what I know. Skjoldr Jarl's son stands in a coat of mail, 1 day old. Now the day has come, his eyes are sharp, like those of Hillingdingr, who is friend of wolves. We shall thrive. Drott thought she saw a dayling in him. The people expected plentiful harvests. The Jarl himself left the battle to give the noble leek to the young lord. They named him Konr, and gave him Hringstadr, Solfjol, Snafjol, and Sigurdsvellir, Hringstadir, Hatun, and Hrimvangur, an ornate sword of Sven's brother. The highborn youth grew up in joyous splendor in the care of kinsmen. He paid and gave to his huskarlar, nor spared the Jarl the blood-stained sword. Konr's amazing genius was so reminiscent of his father, Skjoldr Jarl's, that he was immediately believed to be treading in the same virtuous footsteps. Endowed with outstanding gifts of body and mind, the young man advanced himself to such a pitch of fame that his descendants acknowledged his greatness by making his name in the most ancient Dansker poems synonymous with royal nobility. When Konr was born, Nornr came to him and said that in time he would become the most renowned of the kings, especially since he was the first to bear this title. Whenever and whatever contributed towards hardening and sharpening his strength, he practiced ardently and tirelessly. From swordsmen, he carefully copied methods of parrying and thrusting. He handled all types of weapons with skill, but his favorite weapon was the club. Konr is also called Halfdan, foremost of the Skjoldungar. Famed were the wars led by the Jarls. His deeds seemed to soar to the corners of heaven. Konr was held in such high esteem by the Sviar that he was believed to be the son of Thor, accorded divine honors by the people, and judged worthy of public libations. Through him, the families of Jarlar get the right of precedence before other classes, Kalar and Thralar. Thor is their progenitor. While all classes trace their descendants from Heimdall, the nobility traces theirs from Thor, and through him from Odin. Konr had knowledge of Runar, great strength, and courage. He composed poetry in the native manner fluently and eloquently, and was no less renowned for his warrior prowess than his sovereignty. His generosity made him love of strew His generosity made him love to strew gold about him. He was also extremely handsome, and easily provoked the love of women with his countenance. Skjoldr Jarl had a relative by the name of Hagal, who was also his closest friend. He sent Konr to him to be raised. Hagal had a son, Hamal, the same age as Konr. Konr and Hamal played as boys together, grew into young men together, and swore eternal friendship to each other. They were the handsomest men in Midgard. In appearance they were so alike that it was difficult to say which was Konr and which was Hamal. But they differed in that Konr was elegant and Hamal reserved. Konr quick to make a decision and carry it out, Hamal more thoughtful and considerate, but also brave when carrying out resolutions. It is hard to gather whether Konr reaped more renown through his own heroism or that of his comrade in arms. When Konr had become the strongest hero among all of his contemporaries, it was no wonder that he was admired more than most, and was sung of from generation to generation. He in whom genius and beauty, strength and generosity are united seemed perfect to many. However, Jarl, Konr's father, was better than him in the eyes of some, for the latter loved peace and strived more than anyone else to strengthen the ties of harmony. Konr loved war and adventure, but he was the right man for the time that had come. Peace had gone for all the time. Peace was gone for all time from Midgard. Konr is also called Helgi, Gramr, Rieger III, and Manas. Thank you for joining us for this short segment of the Asatru Edda. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please support the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and subscribe to see all of our new content. Thank you again for listening in, and we'll see you on the next segment.